Hey gamers, today we're going to look at the board game Magnum Sal and its expansion, Moria. Let's check it out. Setup for the game is you're going to shuffle these stacks here. The 2s and the 3s can go right here to the side, and these cards here, lay out 3 there, lay out 4 there. Put this little brown marker here at the 0 tracker. You're going to put 2 brown cubes and 1 green cube here. You're going to put the little mine shaft right here where the mine shaft is, and then shuffle the 1s, put it up this way, open up 2 there, 2 there, and 2 there for 2 and 3. Each player will start the game with 4 little meeples here, and first player gets $10, second player gets $12, third player gets $14, fourth player gets $16. And basically this is simple worker placement. What you're going to do, especially for the first phase, as you're going through phase 1, is each person is going to be placing out one of these at a time. Now later on, when we get to phases 2 and 3, they'll have 2 actions to do, or they can place out 2 of these at a time. What your actions can be is to place a meeple, move a meeple, take one of the actions on one of the cities, or put them in one of the little assistant corners that you see over here. The first player will start with this first player token here, and what's going to happen is each player is going to take turns, usually placing them in the mine or placing them out in the city to do different things. Let me show you how mines work real quick. As people are going, they're placing people out in mines, maybe like this. Maybe orange does this, yellow does this, orange does this again, yellow goes down here, orange goes here, yellow goes here, and so on and so forth. Now, you only get 4 to put them out, but let me show you how extracting salt goes, because this is what the game is all about, extracting salt. Now, I have these laid down, but actually they should be standing up when they're in some of these mines here, because laying down is an action. What they can do is when they decide to lay down, they can lay down as many people as they have in here, but the first thing they have to do is get rid of this nasty water and get this out of the way. And then when they're done with that, they can start, that guy got rid of the water, this guy gets one of the salt cubes. Now, brown are the least valuable, then green, then white. And as you see, the farther down the shaft you go, the nicer the cubes get, because the salt's more pure the lower you go. Anyway, let's say he was to mine this 1 salt. Well, he has to pay for everyone in the chain here. So for instance, he has to pay yellow 1 penny, and then he's out. Now, what if he had this going on? He would have to pay yellow 2 cents to extract this. And again, let's say, because you can't have people on the same square together, if he did it this way, this move is free because he has an orange guy here, but this move costs him a penny. So that's how it works when you're extracting salt. Now, when they do these 2 people are laid down. If you pass twice back-to-back actions, you can stand all your tired workers back up into the mines. Now, I don't know how you're going to figure out if you've passed once or twice before. So what we do is the first time we put them to the side, and then the second time they can stand straight up, showing they are rested. And for the next time, they can, orange can activate them both again and take 2 salt cubes. But of course, they're going to be having to pay yellow player again for each salt cube that passes up there, because just the yellow player is there. Now again, if orange had a guy like that, then you wouldn't have to pay anything to yellow. So that's basically how extracting salt does. The other thing you do, you move a player down a ways or in a ways in a shaft. So for instance, an orange player can move like this, but then a yellow player could not move down like that, because, in fact, he couldn't even be right there, because this breaks the chain. You can never break the chain. If you're not the last one there, like yellow could actually move down this way, move that guy, and leave orange stuck there. Orange couldn't move because he would be breaking the chain if he were to move out or whatever. So you're never allowed to break the chain. As you see, as you're going further, and by the way, whenever you move into one of these buildings, you would flip over the other 2 and then place the cubes there to show what else is there. You'd be slowly mining in all of these mines here, and of course watching the people that you got. Now, other actions you can do is, let's say that I have orange here, and that's how I started. And I have an orange player here. Well, he can play over here at the water pump, and the water pump he can remove 1 cube for free, 2 cubes for $2, 3 for $5, and so on and so forth. So if you want to remove 2 cubes, he just pays $2. The orange player does. These two are done. Now guess what? Yellow still gets paid, and so does orange, because anytime you flush out blue, even when you're using this, everyone gets paid from the bank. After that, he could lay flat both of these people and take maybe these 2 greens if you wanted those. Now again, he only has to pay yellow once for each cube here, but he doesn't have to pay him twice because there's 2 guys there, only once because it's 1 spot there. But anyway, that's basically how the pump works. You can get things done a little bit faster without having to worry about hauling out the water and just getting straight to the salt if you want to use the pump. Other things you can do is you can go over here to these spots here, depending on whether it's a 2, 3, or 4 player game. You can go here, pay the money, and get an extra worker. This is the only way to unlock all the rest of your workers. You have several more workers that of course you're trying to unlock, because the more workers you have, obviously the more actions you can do. Other things, you can go to the market and you can buy or sell your salt. For instance, it starts with 2 browns and 1 green in the market, so if I wanted to buy a brown, I'd pay $4. The next person had to pay $5. If later on maybe I wanted to sell one of my brown, I could sell it for $4, $3, $3, or maybe some green for 5 or 4, or maybe some white for 8 or 7, you know, whatever I need. I can go over here, this is just all for everyone, and they get $1. That's what they get here. Or this is how you can get orders. If you go here, you place your man here. On the next turn, you can move him this way. And on your 3rd turn, if you want to come back and do it again, then you can activate and sell some of your salt for that amount. So if I had 2 brown and 1 green, I could sell and get $17. And once you complete a contract, you'll move this marker down 1. Once you complete 5 contracts, that is the end of the phase. And then you'll get rid of these and bring in 2s. And by the way, after that, you'll be taking 2 actions every round for the 2nd and 3rd round. You can go up here and pay $3, $4, or $5 and buy one of these. These are just little helpful tools in the game. You can get as many as you want. Just whenever you use them, you flip them over to show they've been used for that phase. You can use them up to 3 times in a game, and they're kind of easy to tell you. Here you can buy for -1 in the market or sell for +1 in the market. This one lets you mine an additional cube. This one lets you go straight to the first circle, not even have to wait for the second circle. Don't have to go to the first circle first. You can just skip straight to the first order because you got maybe some king's orders that allow you to sell salt faster. Again, there are multiple ones of all of these tools in the game, and so you can have more than one. You just can't use them more than once per phase. Now the other thing that you can do is you can go to one of these little areas where you see they have the little man on those, and that's where an assistant is. If you have an assistant in any one of those areas, then that means anyone who goes to the water pump, you're going to get a coin. Anyone who goes here to fulfill an order, you're going to get a coin. Anyone who goes here to buy a tool, you're going to get a coin. So it's just easy ways to get some cheap money, or some fast money real quick, but there's only 3 spots available, and once they're gone, they're gone. Of course, once the phase is done, then everyone will bring up their meeples and do it again. You'll wipe the rest of the orders clean. You'll wipe the tools clean, bring out 3 more tools, and then of course bring in the number 2, and you're ready to go. And basically this game goes until you get to the 3rd phase. After that, whoever has the most money wins. Any leftover cubes can be cashed in for 3 points each. Now that's the base game. Let me show you what the expansion looks like. The expansion is going to have this little board here that you're just going to attach over to the edge right here. It goes perfectly right here. It gives you 2 other spots where you can place your guy, one place where you can place an assistant here and get money for everyone who goes there. And it comes with this little thing, this little double man here. You'll put this in charge of the mine, and that's another thing. Another big change in this game is the mine. The mine is going to be completely different. Now, while I'm getting this set up, you will get more of these order cards and more different tools to use in the game. Another thing you'll get is El Grande worker. These count for 2 workers in one. They're called foremans. They're really nice. And then you're going to get 3 of these mine discovery meeples, which are just tokens here. I'll explain what they're for in a minute. Now, as you see, it's a much shorter place here, and of course you may have some extra spots available, but it's a much shorter mine, because what can happen now is you can go up here, pay $5, there's 2 spots available, you can pay $5, get a blue, because now blue is part of a commodity now. This is brine. Now it's the cheapest of any salt, but anyway, you get a brine too, and you get to discover a new mine shaft. There are these mine shaft cards here. Now the rule is it can't be directly underneath a previous mine shaft, so I go down here, that's a 2. So here I go, I get my 2s out, and my 2s are going to be down here now. Oh, look at that, so I can go down here and get 2s. Later on, if I want to discover a 3, I can't put it here. That's not structurally integrable here. You have to place it somewhere else later on, and the game will kind of tell you this, where you need to put them. But once you get down here, that's the 3rd level, and so on and so forth. Now it'll always look a little bit differently, because people will be maybe putting 2nd and 3rd levels here, or whatever they need. So the mine gets built just a little bit differently in the expansion. Now there's things that you can use here. Of course, I kind of showed you what the foreman's place does. Pay $5, get a brine, and open up and discover a new one. When you discover a new place, that's when you put one of these little markers here. They count as a free meeple. Say, hey, he's part of the chain there. You don't have to pay him. He's part of the chain, since orange found both of these. Now, if yellow doesn't want to pay, they'd have to leave a man down there, but it pays to discover these. And you can only discover 3 of them, because you only got 3 meeples. But that gives you basically a free bonus meeple that's going to stay there and open up that shaft and welcome people in there. So that's kind of neat. The other thing that changes the game is, of course, brine. Now, whenever you pump the brine, as you see, there's a pump that brings all the water here. Whenever you do it manually, it'll go out here, and so on and so forth. Now, here is, once people go here, at the end of the round, anyone who's standing here, they're going to split up all of the blue cubes that you see here. Now, there's a few things they can do. They can fill out orders. There are new order cards. Here's one. New order cards that use brine in them, so you can use it for that. Or eventually you can cash these in and convert them to brown, green, or white, depending on how many blue cubes you accumulate. And again, there's a spot here for everyone who puts a man here. They're going to get a penny. Also, there is a big double man token that you put on the board here for the mine, which is really nice. You could put a foreman there, or 2 meeples there, and everyone who puts someone in the mine, you get a penny. That's really cool too. Basically, those are just the things that come in the expansion. It's the same way it goes up to the 3 rounds. After that, whoever has the most money wins. Money, I should mention, comes in denominations of 1, 5, 3, 10, 20, and even 50 coins. Final thoughts. What do I think about the game? Well, the game only came with the expansion box because I didn't want to pay for the other one. He said the other one was kind of beat up. This is a unique game about salt mining, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty good. It's a Polish game and everything, and it sucks. It's one of the worst games in my collection now. There are only 2 games, and this is one of them, that I will never play again. Now, maybe it's a better game for someone else. I'm either going to trade it, sell it, or give it away to someone in my gaming group. But yeah, not for me, which is really weird, because worker placement and the part where you're pulling in the mine. I do have another mining game I absolutely love, but this one is just kind of bland. It's really bland, surprisingly bland. I mean, if you just like regular worker placement games with nothing that exciting going on with it, that's for you. But for me, we did not have fun. My nephews did not like the game. Some of my gaming group, I didn't play with everyone. This one did not get played but twice, and that was it. And both times it was kind of hard to push it through. Maybe for the right person, this is a good game, but for me, no. This is not one I'm going to be keeping in my collection for sure. All right, gamers, that's all the time I want to give this one. Until next time, game on!